Hello my friends, I'm very happy to be with you. I'm Dr. Rodrigo Rodriguez, and once again I'm going to your homes, to you as audience, through Truth Be Told Radio Network. And I'm very happy for your welcoming, very happy to know that you're interested, getting to know that there's something in these broadcasts that you like, because we have done over 100 programs and all of them have been interesting. That's what I think, but so do you, because you have listened to them. You have listened to them not only in the United States or Canada, but in many countries of the world. In these times, you can actually broadcast to every single part of the world simultaneously, and that's why I never say good morning, good evening, or whatever, because I don't know what part of the world you're listening to. You could be in Eastern Time, and you could be in Alaska, or you could be in South America. You could be everywhere. I also welcome people that follow us in England, or in France, or even in Russia. So I'm very happy, because my quest is to convey a message of wisdom in what we're doing with our bodies. And that's what, in summary, I call BioCaring. That's what I want to express. That we have been given a body, and that body has to be taken care of. It's not just a matter of putting food or having fun or doing whatever we feel like doing. It's a matter of using our intelligence to make sure this body of ours is going to keep on doing and performing the way we want. Because it's like owning anything. If you just don't pay any attention, if you don't make sure everything runs accordingly, if you don't make sure that everything is taken care of, you're going to have a piece of junk in no time. And you have seen it. I mean, I have seen it. We all have seen it when you go on the streets and you see some people that might be in their 20s or 30s, and you almost feel sorry for them. They have wasted the glorious gift of life and of a human body in nothing. You look at them and you say, what have these people done with their lives? Nothing. In many cases, I have to accept something. In many cases, I think we have to be fair and say they were never given the opportunity, or they were never were taught any better. So many of them are homeless, many of them didn't have caring parents, many of them live with people that they themselves didn't know how to handle their lives, much less those of their children. So we don't want to be in that group, because we were given an intelligence, we were given ways of thinking, we were given everything we need to know and to understand that we have a wonderful body that can do beautiful things for us, that's going to carry us through life, enjoying and being successful and living better and better, and have the chance to age with my family, with my friends, with everything. And when God calls me, I want to say, look, Lord, this is the body you gave me, this is how I took care of it. And I think that is very important. Also, you know that one of my sayings is that it pays to be healthy. So my biggest asset, my biggest financial asset is my body, my work, everything I do, everything I work for. And as long as I'm healthy, I'm going to be able to do it. Now, I want to take this opportunity to talk about something that's very important. It's very important because you and I and everybody celebrate this date. And we around those dates, even though this program is not really timed through the year, there's never late, there's never early, there's always the perfect time to say this is a time of Thanksgiving. And when I was looking at all these things, and you see how people lived, how people did things, and then I started looking at the Thanksgiving table. Have you stopped to think of that? I know there are a lot of goodies that we love. I know you love the turkey, and you love the sweet potato, you love Brussels sprouts. Anything that's on the table, we love it. Dessert and everything. Sure, we just love all these things. But every time I look at those tables, and let me tell you something very important. At BioCare Hospital, we celebrate every year Thanksgiving. And we're very serious about it. And I myself, with people in the kitchen and people, some of the senior cooks of the hospital, remember we have a bigger staff in the kitchen than at the pharmacy at BioCare. Because to me, food is medicine. And what better way to celebrate it and to show it than Thanksgiving dinner. So I sit with everybody in the kitchen, I sit with the senior cooks, and we design, we think, we use a lot of imagination to know what are we going to serve that night. And the comments, what people think of it when they're here is fantastic. They love it. They love it because it shows all the effort, all the thinking, everything we put in it. We do it from the bottom of our heart because we want Thanksgiving to be a wonderful celebration, even if you're in the hospital. Or I have patients that tell me, because I'm at BioCare Hospital, it couldn't have been better. I have people that come to the hospital in those times of the year, number one, because they might have more possibilities time-wise to come. Second, because they want to BioCare. They want to have a BioCare getaway. And thirdly, believe it or not, many of them have told me, on the side, I came because of dinner. And we really go out of our way to make sure we celebrate that dinner. But it goes beyond that. Because every time I see the table set, every time I see the kitchen doing things and baking bread and cooking a big salad and deciding whether we're going to serve Brussels sprouts or string beans or cubes of pear with pomegranate, we do that. Believe me, we have a big meeting every year to decide what we're going to serve, what we have served in the past, what people rave about it that we have to do. And then we decide, are we going to serve mashed potatoes or sweet potato? Are we going to do what type of bread? Remember that at BioCare Hospital, we bake every single piece of bread you eat, every single cookie you eat is baked right here within premises. Because once again, what you put in your mouth can help you or can ruin your life. That's we always want to try to convey that message. Make sure you know what you're eating, and make sure you know what you're eating, where did it come from? It's not only good that you eat this because this is good, but I'm eating this because I know it's organic, I know it's free range, I know it has been properly cured. So I'm going to have all the advantages that Genesis tells me about foods. Because when you read, it says that God told us, these are the foods, these are the animals, these are the fish, these are everything that I have provided that will be your nourishment. So, but that food has to be just as respected as we are respected. So we have to make sure that the quality of the ingredients, that the upbringing or the raising of whatever we're going to put in our mouths has been done according to the rules. Because that's obedience, and I want to obey. If I do that throughout my life, I'm going to be healthier, I'm going to be more functional, and I'm going to enjoy longer time with you, with my friends, with my family. Not only I'm going to spend longer time here, but I'm going to be healthier. I'm going to be performing. I'm going to be capable of enjoyment. So I have asked many times many people, would you like to live to be 100? And everybody always says, of course, but if I can function well, if I can help myself, if I can do what I want to do, if I can enjoy my time. Because nobody wants to be in a couch, nobody wants to be in a hospital bed for months, and with life-supported methods where we're completely disconnected from anything else. And the way to do it begins at the table. And this time we're going to talk and discuss about Thanksgiving table. Isn't that a wonderful subject to talk about? Don't go anyway. I'd like you to be with me throughout this complete broadcast. Well, my friends, I'm Dr. Rodrigo Rodriguez, and I'm broadcasting like every Friday night through the generosity of Truth Be Told Radio Network. And don't forget that if you miss your program on Friday, you can listen to it the following Saturday morning. Everything on Eastern Standard Time. But if for any reason you want to listen to it again, if you don't want to be taking care of the times or anything like that, you can always go to Spotify and search for Truth Be Told Radio Network. And you're going to find over 100 hours of broadcasts. Also, if you go to the social media of your choice, we can get a get-together. We can talk to each other. You can ask questions. You can send your comments. And I love to do that because it helps me a lot. It helps me a lot because, number one, it tells me what are your areas of interest, what are the areas where you're doubtful, and where I can help. Because I want to inspire you to change your ways, and I want to guide you, not only to inspire you to make the changes, but also to answer your questions and say, look, if we do this, if we do that, it's going to be simple, painless, and most important, successful. And today we're talking about Thanksgiving. And we're talking about Thanksgiving because I think very little things that I can say will be a better example of what wise, diverse, seasonal eating is all about. Did you follow me? I said wise, I said seasonal, and I said diverse. What do I mean by that? By wisdom, I mean I don't eat just because I'm hungry. I eat because it serves a purpose. I bring food to my body because my body needs it. Every time I eat, I have to be conscientious about what I'm doing. I have to think. Many of us pray when we eat. Well, what better homage to God than eat what we should eat? I mean, I can hardly think of thanking God for today's meal when many times I see what's on the plate, and with a soda pop on the side, and with a cigarette in the ashtray. So rewind and think again. When we're eating, we're serving a purpose. We're actually serving a divine purpose. So we have to make sure that we eat what we have to eat. And that's wisdom. I want to make sure that I eat because of several reasons. And once again, if you search on Spotify, Truth Be Told Radio Network, you're going to find a lot of hours of information about it. Questions, any concrete questions, ask me. Because I will be as far as your computer, as far as the social media of your choice. Ask me. I'll try to answer you honestly so you know what to do. But in any case, what I'm talking about right now is that when I eat because I need things. I need nutrition. I need energy. My body moves with energy. It uses a lot of energy to think, to see, to talk, to move, not to mention to cultivate the land or to manufacture things. We need that energy, and that should come from food. Also, as we live and as we do things, we're going to be destroying certain cells. And also, actually, cells have a lifespan, a prefixed lifespan. So we have to create new cells every now and then. We're not the same group of cells today than the ones we were last year. No, we have replaced so many cells in the body. And we can build new cells through what we eat, because we're eating protein, we're eating good fats, we're eating good things that are going to help us. And to keep everything running, we need a number of substances that can make those functions possible. Which are those? Vitamins and minerals and trace minerals. They're not necessarily part of our body, but without them, nothing would happen. So, you have to start now getting clear in your head that I'm eating for a purpose. In other words, I'm not eating because I'm hungry, I'm not eating because I want to have fun, I'm not eating because I want comfort food, because it makes me feel good if I have a pint of ice cream. Sure, you might like it, but it's going to do a lot of harm. What can I say about cigarette smoking? I know many people that smoke, and they tell me, but it's fantastic, it's beautiful, it's whatever. I know, but it's so damaging. And I have seen so many times how ravaging, how bad cigarette smoking can be to your body, that I just cannot understand. Much less I can understand a doctor that smokes. You see, but in those cases, we fall prey to some desires that we should be able to control. So every time, or next time you're going you're about to eat something that you know, because we all know. Something that you know is not really good for you, and you have the courage to say no. It's like turning your back to drugs. It might feel good, but it's going to be for a while. But on the other hand, I'm going to be gaining a better cared for body. In other words, somebody has to take care of my body. And who's that one? Myself. Now, if it's a young child, who has to take care of that little body? The mother, the father, the grandparents. So don't rush to offer sweets. Don't rush to offer refined sugar. Show them the beautiful scent, the beautiful flavor, the beautiful color of a whole orange. Show them the pleasure of chewing an apple. Showing them how to eat different fruits and things like this, that they themselves have their own sweetness. So we don't need anything else. We just have to comply once again. It's a matter of obedience, you see. And then when we start thinking of, yes, this is what I have to eat, this is the reason I eat. In other words, once I introduce wisdom and care for what we eat, we're ready to go to the next step. And what is that? That's seasonality. We have to eat things that are in season. And you might wonder, why is it so important that I eat seasonally? What's wrong with eating a mango in the winter time because it's being flown from the Philippines? Or a kiwi that comes from the southern hemisphere. Remember that many foods in today's America travel 2,500 miles before they get to your table. And that's not really wise, that's not really smart. We have to eat seasonally and locally because those are the foods that God is putting before you that time of the year. Now, if I follow that schedule, you're going to see that your foods are going to naturally rotate. It used to be like that. Many of you remember that. Many of you remember the times when you said, Mom, I want strawberries. And she would say, you have to wait to the beginning of the new year. Or I want pumpkin. Well, let's wait to Thanksgiving. Right now we don't have pumpkins. In other words, seasonality gives you the possibility of alternating foods throughout the year. And by changing to different foods, you're providing the body with different nutrients, many of them in a very small trace amount. Nevertheless, very important. So, when I look at the Thanksgiving table, I look at the season all together. Because the potato, the sweet potato, the turkeys, everything you put in there, the cranberries, everything is in season. That's why we learn to cook that way for Thanksgiving. So we should change. If we're in spring, let's eat springy things. If we're in summer, what about the salads and everything? So let's change with the time. The best way to do it is go to farmer's market. See what's being grown that time of the year. You see, and the last one goes without saying, which is the variety of foods. So if we are going to be changing foods according to the season, if we're going to go to the local market, if we're going to be wiser in choosing what we're bringing to the table, then we have diversity. Diversity is very important. I ask many times people to take paper and pencil and write everything you eat. And many times you're going to see that you probably eat 20 things all year round. Never change. Never make any important change. And that is not good. Stay with me because we'll continue talking about it. My friends, I'm Dr. Rodrigo Rodriguez, and I'm very happy to be with you like every Friday in Truth Be Told Radio Network, and every Saturday. It's a rerun of the same program, but more important, you can go to Spotify and search for any of the broadcasts that we have done. Over 100 hours of information that concerns you, your health, your well-being. So I would encourage you to look for them, to listen to them, and to hopefully get some inspiration to make changes in your life. I'm also available in every single social media. In that one of your choice, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, I will be there. And we'll be happy to answer your questions, listen to your comments, and have a conversation. Because we are a hospital that wants to have healthier people. I don't want to see a lot of sick people. Many times I see patients and I say, I wish I would have seen you 10 years ago. I wish I would have seen you 5 years ago. And many times I say, I wish I would have seen you yesterday. See, because we tend to leave up to the last minute a lot of the important decisions. Now, Hippocrates, used to say that thy food will be thy medicine. And this is something that I agree completely with. If you eat well, if you take care of yourself, you're going to see a lot of changes. And it's funny. It's very funny because I many times see people that are not very good to themselves in terms of what they eat and how they eat. However, when they go to the pet store, they look for the weight, for the quality, for the age, for a lot of things of their pet to make sure they're buying the product that can be the best possible food for their pet. What does that tell me? It tells me that yes, we understand. Yes, we know. But we block it when it comes to us. I mean, I remember, for example, once I was in a pet store, I called a very good friend and I said, look at the pet store, anything I can get for you? And then she starts telling me, describing me very carefully what the product was going to be. What make, what weight, what this, the bag has this color, etc. A lot of things, a lot of detail. Then she says, make sure you get that because that's what my dog eats. And I said, yeah, I know. I know because normally from the pet store you go to this fast food chain to feed your children. She says, why do you tell me those things, doctor? Because you take care of on how you feed your pet, but you're careless when you talk about your children. And believe me, I care a lot for children nutrition because I see so many things that are wrong, and I don't have to tell you. I mean, you can go to any restaurant, and look for children's menu. And what you're going to find? Chicken McNuggets, fried food, pizza. That's what we feed our children. And the problem is, because parents tell me all the time, well, it is because that's what they like. Well, I don't know any child that was born today and when he turned 1 or 2 years says, "Oh, I feel like having pizza." That's a lie. We teach them to eat pizza. We teach them to eat salt. We teach them to eat foods that shouldn't be healthy. Have you ever seen the expression of a baby when you put the first grain of salt in their mouths? They hate it. They don't like it. Actually, when you give alcohol for the first time to children or to young people, normally the first reaction is not pleasant. Same with cigarette. In other words, all we have to do is listen to our own body. And if you want to do whatever you want with your body, well, you're welcome. But don't ruin your children's life. Because that's not fair. All you have to do is teach them better, and when they grow up, they're going to do, like we all do, whatever they want to do. But we have to teach them better. We have to show them how to eat. We have lost the mealtime. We have completely lost mealtime. For us, breakfast is gulping something from the blender or from a bag on the run. Lunch is grabbing something and pushing it, again gulping it in the day. And dinner is to have a very late night thing with takeout food of very questionable quality and alcohol drinks. And that's the way we live day in, day out. And we have to bring back mealtime. We have to make sure we feed our children. We have to make sure we have something for breakfast, because it's actually the most important meal of the day. That's what's going to provide us with all the energy to function for the rest of the day. There's a very important experiment that tells you a lot. They took a group of people and they served breakfast the normal way. Eggs and ham and potatoes and toast, etc. And then exactly the same meal, exactly the same quantities, exactly everything just mirror from each other. They feed the same person the same type of meal at 9 o'clock in the evening. Well, it turns out that when you have your breakfast at 9 o'clock in the morning, it only takes 2 hours for the body to use everything up, to put everything in the shelves, to put all the nutrients where they go, and finished. In 2 hours, you're ready to do something else. Not only that, but your body has received energy, has received a lot of things. But then, you have the same meal at 9 o'clock in the evening, and then it's to 1 hour, 2 hours. Remember, in the morning we only need less than 2 hours to bring everything to normal. But now it's 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, and we still have high levels of fat, high levels of sugar in the blood. And people say, but why? Well, it happens to be that our bodies know that in the morning you need all that food, all that energy, because you're going to be engaged in a lot of challenges and physical activity. You're going to be going to work, you're going to be doing things, you're going to be moving, but at 9 o'clock in the evening you're going to bed. You eat at 9, well, a little bit later you're sitting on the TV to whatever time. Nevertheless, you're sitting in a couch and then you go to bed. Your body has no way to use that energy. And then we're pushing food on a person that doesn't need it. And you say, but we have always eaten late. No. We always have dinner. No. Where is the 5 o'clock dinner? It's gone. Do you know anybody that religiously has dinner at 5? That doesn't exist anymore. We eat at 8, 9, 10. We snack all day long. And we snack on the wrong foods, sugary, fatty, bad fats, by the way, because ice cream has the worst fats you can find for human nutrition. The worst. But that's what we feed our people, that's what we feed ourselves. So I'm asking you to rethink everything in this time of Thanksgiving. In this time of Thanksgiving, where you can see a beautiful table with a huge variety of foods, in which animal protein is probably 20%. That's our turkey. But we have cranberries, and we have sweet potatoes, and we have breads, and normally whole wheat breads, good quality breads, you see? And we have fruits, and we have different vegetables. We have spinach, and we have Brussels sprouts, which are very much in season. Very typical of a Thanksgiving table. In other words, we have a lot of things with a big variety, and that's going to feed our body, and that's going to feed also our intestinal flora, which I haven't mentioned yet. But I have to tell you that it is intestinal flora, the ones that moves your mood, moves your immune system, moves your hormonal systems, lets you go to sleep at night, produces so many functions, probably in the thousands of functions, all those bacteria that live in the gut. But they have to be fed. We never think of that. Have you ever thought of that? The same way I have to eat, the same way I have to give energy to all my cells, I have to feed my intestinal flora. And what do I feed it with? With a big variety of things, particularly those that have a lot of fiber. My cranberries, my pears, my spinach, my string beans, my Brussels sprouts, my sweet potato. See, I can have on my Thanksgiving table everything I need to keep my body, my intestinal flora, my every single function well. So let's begin thinking of thanking God. Thanksgiving more frequent than what we do it. Once a year is not enough. Friends, families, co-workers, everybody that want to listen to this message, you're very welcome to this talk with Dr. Rodrigo Rodriguez. As you know, every Friday night, I have the opportunity to talk through Truth Be Told Radio Network and just talk about important subjects that I think they're very important to me. They're very important to my profession, and because they can make a difference. They do make a difference. I'm the medical director of a hospital that was born in the 1970s and still growing strong, because people look for us. People look for us because we have the BioCare approach. I truly believe that there's a lot of potential. We have a lot of resources within our body to heal. Actually, healing is a very integral part of the human body. Our bodies always heal, always want to heal, always want to be better, always want to perform better. But like everything else in life, the body can only do and can only be as good as the elements the body is provided with to heal, to rebuild, to produce a recovery, and that has to come from food. I mean, make no mistake. Try to think where can anything that's going to help the body can come from. Well, few things are untangible, like sunlight. But even sunlight will not be really acquired if the skin doesn't have certain nutrients, like vitamin D, or certain pro-vitamin D substances that are in green leafy vegetables. So everything that happens within the body has to be provided for all our intakes, for our food, our water, our air, etc. So now that we're approaching Thanksgiving, is the time to think of a lot of things. Certainly, give thanks for all the blessings that we enjoy through the year. But then I cannot not see as a doctor that every time I see the Thanksgiving table, I can see the diversity of things that we eat and how well proportioned they are. And what I want you to do, what I'm going to ask you to do, is when you're at your Thanksgiving table, take a good look and think, this should be my model. This should be my inspiration for what I eat and how I eat. Because it is really a source of inspiration. What do you have on your dinner table? Well, you have a number of goodies, but if you take a good look, probably 20% is animal protein. I'm not against animal protein, I'm for it. But we have to be conscientious, we have to be careful, we have to know how much. And when they give me my plate and I have my piece of turkey, I can see that I have sweet potato, that I have cranberries, that I have pear cubes, that I have pomegranate, that I have spinach or different vegetables, sprouts, Brussels sprouts that I love, and they're part of this body, string beans. In other words, I can see that there is a huge diversity of things. There's a lot of things that are going to provide me with fiber for my intestinal flora. There are going to be a lot of different colors because the cranberries are going to provide me with vitamin A, with vitamin C. The pears that are very much in season are going to also provide me with very important nutrients, very important minerals. And so will be every part of the food. So that table in itself, take a picture and make sure you eat not exactly the same way, but as close as possible. You say, I'm going to have some meat, I'm going to have some fruit, I'm going to have some nuts, I'm going to have some potatoes or sweet potatoes, or I'm going to take this or the other, and I want to make sure I'm going to eat. You don't have to eat that much, but you can prepare a little Thanksgiving dinner every night for you and your family. When you do it, you're really thanking God for all the blessings, because you're providing for your family the nutrition it needs. At BioCare, this is a perfect time to show people what we should be doing. And we actually published every year the menu for our patients. You can see, for example, that we produce these recipe books every year for our patients. By the way, if you want any of these, all you have to do is contact me through social media of your choice, and we'll be happy to send you one, no cost involved. All you have to do is Facebook or any other social media, Instagram, Twitter. We're going to send you one free of charge. And then you see, for example, that we put caramelized onions and apple tarts. You see, you have the onions, you have the apples. Pear salad with blue cheese. Pomegranate. Butternut squash soup. The Parker house rolls, cooked in the hospital. We bake everything in the hospital. And of course, the turkey. So, this can be yours if you contact us in the social media of your choice. We'll be able to send it free, and you're going to be able to read. It might be, I don't know if it's going to be on time for Thanksgiving, but you're going hopefully to have a good inspiration for Christmas dinner or for any other type of dinner. So it is very much, very important that you follow us, that you know about us. And I'd like you to when you go to your social media, become a follower. Because if you become a follower, my word is going to go further. And once again, all this information is completely free of charge. And all you have to do is go to Spotify and search for Truth Be Told Radio Network and listen to this or any other different program. To listen to this segment or any other segment, you don't have to listen to the whole show. You can choose what you want to hear. And the next thing I want you to do is get together with the people that really matter to you. Your spouse, your children, and say, why don't we start making changes? Why don't we open the fridge? Why don't we open the pantry and see what should be out of there? What is going to go? And let's start making our fridge, making our pantry look like our Thanksgiving dinner. And again, 3 qualities. Wisdom, seasonability, we have to make sure we eat in season, and the other one, diversity, where we have all different types of food according to the season. Of course, you're going to see how things change throughout the year, and it really becomes a point where it's fun. It's fun to say, right now, we're talking Thanksgiving, well, something I love is nuts in the shell. You go and buy your nuts, put it in a big basket, grab a couple of nutcrackers, and sit in the porch with a cup of tea and breaking the nuts, because they're loaded with omega-3s. But omega-3s will be gone if you shell them for a long time. The quality will not be there. Much worse if you roast them and salt them. In other words, nuts should be in a shell that has to be cracked, not in a can. See? Food should come from the land. Food should come from the farm, not from a factory. So, excuse me, but I don't advise any sort of food that's been canned, packed, boxed, etc. Because all you have to do is walk around your neighborhood and you're going to start looking at the possibilities. And those possibilities, all those variety of foods, all those different things are going to be richness for your body. Your body is going to be very grateful, and it's going to give you a big return on your efforts. So I want to be with you for a long time. I want to talk to you for a long time. I want to meet you when you come to BioCare Getaway, because you want to spend some time getting rid of inflammation, making sure your blood pressure goes down, making sure you lost those extra pounds, making sure you feel very well. There's where I want to meet you. I don't want to see you sick. I'm a doctor that does not like to see sick people. I'm a doctor that loves to see people that have gotten in the personal quest of being healthier and living longer. Next time, I'll be with you.